Hey, welcome back. I just spent 15 minutes trying to figure out where to go. These games, they're not really designed for you to just tear through them. I thought I knew this game better than I do, but I don't really know this game. I can't even remember the first dungeon, so I didn't know where to get the key, and I was looking through the walkthrough. The walkthrough didn't say, but I found it. So I feel like I'm easily agitated today, even though everything's going perfect for me. Job stuff is perfect. Everything's perfect. Except I got this pimple. And also the lag is kind of annoying. Talked about the lag yesterday. It's bad. But what are you going to do? I'm not going to spend like an hour trying to fix it and then it's not even going to be fixed probably. So. Come at me. Ah, why didn't I kill him? I'm gonna die here. I should do a cheat save. Because it took me so long to do all that crap. So yeah, the lag, you're just gonna have to deal with it. I don't know. It's annoying. I'm sorry. I was gonna talk about juggling today. My note today is about juggling. I don't know why juggling is my go-to thing. I've talked about it a lot before. My go-to metaphor. There's a boss. Should I start talking about this thing? Yeah. It's in relation to, so I'm going to use this metaphor to describe. I'm very busy right now. I mean, I'm not very busy. I'm not as busy as like a parent, but I'm busier than I used to be. That's not saying much for like a normal person, but for me it seems like a lot. Like I'm doing all this stuff at work, and I'm doing all this church stuff, and I'm looking for this new apartment. I'm such an old man when I have to look down at the buttons and be like, what's the shoot button again? So obviously the metaphor you think is like, oh, I'm juggling a lot of stuff. But I wanted to expand on that metaphor because I like it. So yeah, obviously I'm juggling a lot of stuff. Oh, what's happening? But I'm not depressed. Like, even if something goes bad, like, oh, I didn't get the apartment I wanted, I'm not gonna be depressed because the apartment hunting is one of the balls that I'm juggling. So like if I drop one of the balls, I'll just pick up the ball and keep juggling. So like if the thought is, people who are juggling, they don't have time to think about anything else except juggling, right? If someone's juggling, they're not thinking about like a weird encounter they had a year ago with a person at work or something they said. Juggling is so intense that like you have to think about what you're doing. I mean, maybe if you're really good at it, you don't, but I would. So when you're juggling, all you're thinking about is juggling. You don't have time to think about anything else. This is just another take on my whole distraction thing that I've talked about. Take it to Shrashrashrala. It's hard to be depressed when you're juggling, I guess. If that's the note. So the metaphor here is juggling life. When you're juggling life stuff, You're like, oh, my apartment and my job and my family and church, and you're thinking about, oh, what do I do tomorrow? What do I do today? You don't have time to be depressed. When I was depressed before last year, it was because my current job was like I'm on autopilot there, and I don't like it. Every day is bad, and I don't know what to do in the future. So every day I just come home and I watch TV. So I'm not juggling anything. I'm like, I don't know how to expand this metaphor, but like, if I'm juggling right now, then last year I was like sitting in an empty auditorium after the juggling had happened, and I was just sitting there. I don't know. That metaphor, it doesn't work like that, but my thought is you can't be sad when you're juggling, or you can't be depressed. You can be sad, like if you juggle bad, you can be like, oh, I juggled that thing wrong. I'm so sad about that. But I'm not sad about like the meaning of life and my existence. I don't have time to think about that. If I'm continuing to juggle, if the thing that I'm juggling falls and it stops me from juggling, then I'm back at the point where I'm not juggling, and then that's when I can get depressed. But if I'm like, oh, I dropped the ball, I'll pick it up and I'll keep juggling, then I can't be depressed. I can just be sad about, oh, wasn't it stupid when I dropped that ball? I look like an idiot, but, well, here I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to keep doing it. I don't know. I think this metaphor makes sense. I already went there, so I have to go back to here, I think, is Shrashrala. It takes a lot of effort to focus on life stuff. Now, as I've mentioned before, that's still, once you realize that that's what you're doing, it's not a very satisfying life to just be like, oh, I'm just juggling all the time. Everything's a distraction. But once I stop and sit and think about life, it's depressing because it's meaningless. And people in Africa are dying every day, and there's suffering happening, and I'm just sitting here. And being dead is better than being alive. That's what you think. So you have to find a middle ground. Like, you have to find a way to enjoy. You have to find a way to find meaning in the distractions, or to be content with meaninglessness. Those are your two options. Those are my two options. I don't know what your options are, but I know those are mine. And I'm obviously leading towards the latter. I forget which one I said first. I'm leading towards the meaninglessness one. To be content in meaninglessness. I'm still not there. I recorded a vloggy thing a couple days ago. I don't know if I'm ever even gonna post it because it's bad. But it was just about meaninglessness and stuff. I feel like I talk better here though than in the vlogs. But nobody really likes Let's Plays anymore, so maybe I should do more vlogs. I don't know. Beep 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 beep. Is Srasrala in there? Or is he over here? He's in here. So I finished that book, A Confession. I don't know if I have any more notes about it, but so that's what happened to Oh, that's the Master Sword. That's what happened to Tolstoy. Like, Tolstoy had a really good life. He was a rich Russian person. He was writing books. Everybody loved him. He had a family. Then after you have all that stuff for a while, you don't really have to juggle it anymore. Like, when he was younger, in his 30s and 40s, he was writing books and he was dealing with his family. So he was juggling. Then after he had finished writing a couple books or whatever, and his family was older, and he had time to not have to juggle so much, he wrote this book called The Confession, and he was like, yeah, I was really depressed, and I felt like life was meaningless. Because he wasn't juggling. That's why. So that's what happens when you stop juggling. Don't stop juggling, no matter what. But when you think about it like that, it's kind of depressing, because it's like, well, to me maybe, because like juggling is stressful. You gotta like keep all the balls up. So some people can find joy in juggling and be like, oh, I'm getting better at juggling, and oh, but I want to be the person who's like, okay, I'm done juggling now, and I'm just sitting here. How can I be content with this nothing? But some people, they just juggle their whole life. I guess I had the benefit of coming to this realization earlier in my life than Tolstoy, because I didn't have a family. I didn't have to write books or whatever. My life was really boring. So I was like, wait a minute. What does anything mean? Guess that was it for the note. Well, that's it for today. I don't know where to go, so. At least I beat the boss today. I got to the boss yesterday, I beat him today. It's all good. Everything's good. All the time. Nothing bad ever happens in Anthony World. Tomorrow I'll talk about my new favorite book, because it's like the only book I've ever read. Anna Karenina. The audiobook thing is kind of a miracle. I don't know. I was trying to read, like I was at work and everybody had left, and I was there for like an extra half an hour. And I was just reading Anna Karenina online. Reading books is so hard. I guess our modern brains just like aren't calibrated to just sit and look at a thing and read and be able to hold that information in your head and be like, wait, who is that guy? But when I listen to it, I can understand it. But when I was reading it, it was like looking at the screen like, ugh. And I was starting to get sleepy. I always get tired when I read. Master Sword. Where's the guy? There must be someone in the village. I don't know. I don't know where to go. Okay, Anna Karenina tomorrow. That'll be fun, because I like the book so far. And it feels nice to say like, oh, I like a book. It makes me feel smart or something. Especially this book, which is so long. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. But I'm already through part 1. I'm 1/8 of the way through. 1/8. And I spent like 8 hours reading it on the drive to Rome. Anyways, see you tomorrow. Bye.